Welcome back to another episode of KO Play. I'm Tommy.
I'm Mike.
And today we're going to be looking at Disney's Aladdin, released by Capcom in 1993 for the Super Nintendo. And in my opinion, the better of the two Disney's Aladdin games released on 16-bit consoles back in the day. My opinion.
He doesn't mean that.
Oh, I do. And I'll make points throughout the episodes as to why.
Okay. Let's dive into this monstrosity.
Now, there's a long story that goes on and on here for the intro scene. I mean, it's pretty cool if you got the time to stare at it, but that's not what we're going to do here today. Why don't we just dive right in?
Okay.
So right from the get-go, looks pretty nice. Got your password, your options, not going to mess with any of that, just going to get right into the game.
Alright.
So this game's a little different from its Sega counterpart, in that you have more or less a world, if you will. Like this, this would be what, the streets of Agrabah or whatever, the market of Agrabah,
Okay.
which is what it was called in the Sega version. In this one, though, I mean, you'll find several stages in this theme rather than just the one, creating an entire world before you move on to the next world.
Now I notice off the bat, like, this is more of a platformer than, it's a platformer to the core, whereas Sega, it had action in it as far as, like, swinging a sword and stuff like that.
This is more of your traditional go left to right platformer.
Okay.
Whoa! Yeah, you see, I missed the red gem there, but I don't really care. I'm not in it to collect all of those.
Now I notice you have apples in this one also.
Yep.
Okay.
And when you throw one, it cracks over the guy's head. He goes googly-eyed for a second there, but it doesn't actually do any real damage. You can't kill anything with an apple.
It's a good way to get them dazed, though.
Well, actually, you can kill a bat, I'm pretty sure, but you can't kill any like significant enemies. But yeah, it'll daze these guys, and they look pretty funny when you do it too.
Okay.
Do I really feel like going back up there for that stuff? I don't know. It depends on what I'm missing. Nah, I don't think I'm missing anything.
Now I'm listening to the music. This music, it sounds pretty good, but it's not very reminiscent.
It's not like straight out of the movie or anything like that.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, there are a few though that do have a reminiscent tone to them.
Some of them are spot
Sound.
on. Some of them are the exact same tracks, pretty much ripped out of the movie and done in Super Nintendo fashion.
Okay.
But ones like you just heard are an original track. I mean, however good they sound, it's not from the movie or anything.
Yeah.
Good. That's what I wanted.
Nice. What is that, like a...
It's an extra bar of health on my life bar there.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's not. It's just a heart. It just fills it back up. Oh, that sucks. I thought it would do something more.
Better than nothing, though.
That brings me to a point, a mistake I made in the Genesis video, was that I mentioned that the Super Nintendo does not have a life bar, and as you can see, it in fact does. I just, for some reason, drew a blank there. I couldn't remember exactly how it felt. I haven't played this game in a while, and I'm kind of coming in cold. Feels good, though. It's got that solid Capcom playability. I can feel that right now. And that's what I've been waiting for right there. You get that nice cape, you can glide from platform to platform, it makes life easy.
I mean, from the little bit that I played, too, the controls are pretty tight in this game.
And they are in the Sega as well. I mean, I'm not taking anything from that. I like the feel of this controller, the way it's laid out. But that's all personal preference.
And the way Capcom makes their games, though, the controls are pretty tight usually. Like, I mean, yeah, the Sega was good too, but like in comparison to this, I'd say like these are less floaty. Like, you know what I'm saying? It feels a little slippery sometimes when you play the Sega one. And it's just a little. It's damn near not noticeable if you practice at it.
Yeah. It's gonna sound like a funny comparison, but if I had to compare this game the way it controls to anything, it would almost feel like really, it's tight like a Mario game.
Okay.
Whereas the Sega version, it's not that it's not tight, but it feels more like a Joe and Max sort of experience, you know what I mean? Great game, just feels different.
Yeah.
But again, this is, more of your right to left sort of standard Nintendo fare of the day.
Now, one thing I notice is that Abu follows you.
Yep.
He's like with you in the game. That's kind of cool, considering like he wasn't in like the other one necessarily, except in the bonus rounds.
bonus round,
But
yeah.
what was cool about that was that you were able to actually beat Abu
Yeah.
and use Abu in the
Yeah,
bonus
and in this
rounds.
game you don't, obviously. Well, I'm having a hard time with this. There we go. There we go. And at the end of every level, obviously you've seen it in the last level too, you get this little arrow. It tells you, you know, this is it. The health in this game is bread and chicken. You find bread, you know, won't restore quite as much. The chicken will restore pretty much all your health, I think. I can't remember 100%, but I know it restores more than the bread at least. Yeah, you see I'm going right past all these red gems. I'm just,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not really too concerned with them. To my knowledge, they don't really do anything. It's kind of nice at the end of a level, or yeah, end of a world, you can see all the gems you've collected on display, but I don't think it gives you anything. I'm certain I've collected all of those when I was younger, and it just didn't do anything. Yeah, I don't even need that bread. No sense in risking it. Get out of here.
Now, I would take it that collecting a certain amount of gems pretty much gives you a life.
That's another thing, too. I'm not 100% sure. I would assume it gives you something. Otherwise, why would they be there? But you see there was a chicken in that pot there.
Yeah.
And this is another point I made, too. You actually, like, glide on these rags in this game, rather than climb across the pole like you would in the other game. I prefer it in the Sega in that aspect.
I think it kind of ties to the reason why they did that is like to keep the momentum of you going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus, you know, in Sega it's more of like a you kind of take your time thing. It's kind of got like almost a, I won't say a Sonic feel, but it's got like that keep going forward.
You know what's funny is this
vibe to it.
game feels faster, which is super out of place for considering that, you know, the Sega generally, a counterpart on the Sega would always feel faster. This game just, yeah, like you said, it's the pace of the game. It wants you to keep moving.
Now, I like this. In Sega, if I'm not mistaken, the boss that you face in the first, in the beginning, is the guy who was with Jafar when he ran into the lions, into that cave where the lamp is.
He was the guard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that now. And you see he runs off with the princess here.
Yeah, that's a cool scene. Like, to actually show that.
See, on the bottom there, that's where you would see all your red gems, and I don't even know if I got any. Watch, I picked up, like, none. Oh, I got one. Alright. You see, but if you get them all, they all line up on the bottom there.
This is cool, too. This has got, like, a little password thing. It's meant for you to, like...
to be able to continue, which is nice. Which is exactly what we're going to do, so thank you for watching the first episode of KO Play on Aladdin for the Super Nintendo. Tune in. We're going to finish this game up.
We'll be right back.